Welcome, everybody. We had a little bit of a technical glitch, so hopefully you're all seeing this and enjoying this. Today is January 2nd, National Motivation and Inspiration Day. I had to pass by the United States Congress after the tragic events of 9/11, 2001. Unbelievably, we're almost 25 years from that date, that tragic event. But it led to a lot of positive changes, a lot of changes in our world. And today we're going to talk about goal setting. And that's really what National Motivation and Inspiration Day is all about. It's about taking this second day of January, the day after New Year's Day, which is already taken, and saying, all right, so I was talking about these New Year's resolutions. I was talking about trying to make this year different than last year or the year before. How do I go about doing that? So my guests today, we're going to talk a little bit about how do we go about goal setting? How do we go about achievement? How do we go about success? And yeah, I think they know a little bit about success. So Coach Jim Johnson, Dr. Willie Jolly, Leonard Marshall, voted one of the top 100 New York Giant football players of all time and two-time Super Bowl champion, will be joining us in a second. And Karen Mayo. Karen, I love your book, Mindfulness with Mayo. I'm not a Mayo fan. I'm sorry, but I am a fan of yours.
Well, I don't like mayo either. It's not very healthy.
As a nutritionist, right? It's like,
and it tastes gross.
So Karen, let's start with you a little bit. Let's chat. So for people that don't know you, when you do your elevator pitch of like, hey, I'm Karen Mayo, who are you?
So I am international award-winning best-selling author of Mindful Eating. I have certification from like A to Z, but basically I talk about integrative nutrition. Let's get to the root cause of what is ailing you ultimately, right? So when that happens, like when I'm talking with my clients or talking with my professionals, and we get a goal, right? So we have to have a starting point to get where you want to be, right? So starting with blood work, let's look at your blood work. As you know, blood work doesn't lie. So from there, you go to your, like even pulling out a calendar just like this, and to make it easy and efficient, write breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and what you're going to be doing, even with the kids. It's easy to do that. You'll save time that way. But it's also great for time blocking as well. So you are efficient and moving forward, because everybody's always busy, right? So we're constantly busy. Yeah. So that's why time blocking is so important for me, and so important for my clients and my patients.
And listen, we all know that one of the biggest things that happens at New Year's is people want to lose weight, get healthier, go to the gym and work out. Like those are typically the goals. And as a nutritionist and this person that coaches people and helps them with health and well-being and nutrition, give us some shortcuts, give us some fundamental things that people can and should be doing, starting off, because it's all about habits, right? And so right. You talk about healthy habits. What are things that they can be doing nutritionally to start their year off so that they create a habit through the rest of the year and lose weight as well as become healthier?
Right. Again, so it's about taking the 5 to 10 recipes or 5 to 10 meals that you can do breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Hey, Leonard, you there?
Yes, I am.
Hey, sorry about the technical glitch. So we're recording this and we're going to share it on Facebook and social media afterwards. So rather than trying to do the live thing, it just didn't work. So
okay, no problem.
Thank you very much for joining us. Karen has some construction issues going on. So while she's doing that, guys, Willie, look, I watch you every day. I watch your minute of motivation, your motivational minute that you do every day. You're just, listen, you are an inspiration for so many people. And this is look, I'm speaking not your language. You've taught this language. What are some of the things that you tell people? What is it that when you're doing your motivational programs, your leadership programs, what are you telling them about goal setting and how to achieve their goals and success?
Well, first, I want to say thank you for inviting me to be with you again one more time for National Motivation Day, and greetings to all of the other people on the panel where I got this esteemed group of people. I'll start as I start before I answer your question with every interview, with every question I ask, whether my XM show or my daily shows or my speeches, maybe around the world, wherever I may go. I have only just a minute, only 60 seconds in it. Forced upon me, can't refuse it. I did not seek it. I did not choose it, but it's up to me to use it. I must suffer if I lose it, give account if I abuse it. Just a tiny little minute, but our eternities are wrapped up in it. Greetings to everybody. I'm grateful for this minute, this moment, this opportunity to talk to you about how to make this year better than last year. And so I'm grateful for all of you. And I encourage you all to share this video with Lottie, Dottie, and everybody, because we want to help you to win more. Now, first thing is, many people a couple of days ago, end of the year, they said, I'm planning to have a better year next year than this year. And they started that by doing what they did last year. They sang Auld Lang Syne. They had some celebration at midnight. They kissed people they loved. They had a great celebration bringing in the new year and leaving 2024, coming to 2025. And then they started doing exactly what they did last year, at the end of last year. They continued. And I said the word planning because most people do not want to plan what they're going to do this year from last year. So what I want to say to everybody is that you must plan. If you're going to have a better year this year than last year, you got to set some plans. You got to make a decision to plan. Scripture says, write the vision, make it plain, that he that reads it may run the race. And so what I'm saying to everybody is that if you want to have a better year, you got to prepare for it, plan for it. And the way to do that is not resolutions. Everybody makes resolutions. They're going to be happy this year. They're going to lose some weight. That's nice and fine, but there's a better way, a smarter way, a wiser way. That's set goals. Set goals this year. Make a commitment that you're going to set some goals. And the way to do that is to be in a process of setting goals. Now, why is it, Kevin and a team, why is it people don't set goals? For one or two reasons. One, they don't know how. Two, because it's hard and it takes work. And they say, well, I'll do it later, but they really never do it. But scripture told us you got to write the vision, make it plain, read the race and run it. And so what I have been doing in my daily 1-minute messages, thank you for watching, Kevin, is encouraging people to set goals. Now, here's what I want everybody to do, because we have a limited time. We got a great panel. I want everybody to, one, go to winwithwillie.com, winwithwillie, WILLIE.com. Sign up for my daily 1-minute messages, 1 minute. And every day I'll send you a message. People around the globe have said it's changed their lives. It's transformed their thinking. It's helped them to do better. And so I'm encouraging everybody to go to Win with Willie and sign up for those 1-minute messages. Number two, when you get to Win with Willie, scroll down. You'll see Win with Goals. It's a class. It's a 4-hour class that we created to help people, and people around the globe have said it has helped them make more money, help them have better success, help them to greater achievement, help them have greater family life because they set goals. Look, if you want better, you got to do different, because if you keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting what you've been getting. So if you want better children, you got to be a better parent. You want a better relationship, you got to be a better partner. You want a better life, you got to be a better you. And you got to do different than you did before, because you won't change. Einstein said that the thinking that got us to where we are will not get us to the next level. And so what we got to do is think better. And the way to do that is to get help with people and get input. Input determines output. So go to winwithwillie.com, sign up for the 1-minute messages, and then get that Win with Goals class. Do the exercises. It's quite a bit of exercise, a couple hours. Sit around with your family. That's what we're going to be doing today. My family and I, all my children, grandchildren, everybody's coming over. We're having a meal, and we're going to do goals together. We're going to watch the video of what I taught because it's all there. And then we're going to do the exercises, and we're going to win and make this year better than last year. Last thing about better, my catchphrase for this year is better. This is one word, better. That's the word I'm using. Why? Because I got a new book coming out first quarter that everybody's going to want to get. It's called Rich is Good, but Wealthy is Better. Come on, somebody. Wealthy is better, baby. Wealthy is better. We're going to help you get there. Thank you for having me. You got some great panelists. I'm going to let y'all go to work, folks. Go to work. Let's go. It's time to win. It's time to win. It's time to win, baby. It's time to win. It's time to win. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Kevin, I thought Bill Belichick had some shit on everybody. Bill got it hands down, brother. Hands down.
You the man or what?
You hands down, Willie.
Leonard, could you imagine having to speak after him?
Oh, I'd love to put you in the locker
usually
room,
just
buddy.
drop the mic. It's like, boop, done.
Oh my God, I'd like to drop you right in the locker room. You didn't win last week. Here's a dose of Willie.
Thank you, Leonard.
We all need a dose of Willie, man. We all do. He's just, he's just brilliant, articulate, beyond articulate, talented, just amazing. And Willie, just, our friendship is such a blessing to me. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much.
One last thing. I got to say this. Everybody got to see this. This is presented to Dr. Willie Jolly, CSP, CPAE 2020 American Motivation Award for Lifetime Achievement, given to me from my friend, Kevin McCrudden. He came to DC all the way from New York and presented to me in the midst of COVID. And we did it outside. We made a big thing, but thank you, brother. It's in my office, and I'm proud of it. All right. I think Karen might be.
Yeah. The American Motivation Awards. We'll get back to that because hopefully this year will be the 25th anniversary of National Motivation Inspiration Day. So we're going to have another American Motivation Awards, and hopefully you can hand that to one of our fellow speakers, one of our legends. All right. All right, cool. Hey, Karen, how you doing? You back?
I'm back. Yes.
All right.
You know how to get everything.
We're going to bounce from you and then to Leonard Jim a little bit. Hey, so Karen, we were talking a little bit about nutrition. And, so what are the 3 or 4 things that you're going to tell your clients and people and the people you coach and the people that are listening to this event? What are you going to tell them? Like, look, you have to do this in order to make changes. As Willie's saying, you can't keep doing what you've been doing. You got to do something different in order to create different results. What are you telling them to do to take care of themselves, their nutrition, their family?
Right. So again, get 5 to 10 recipes or 5 to 10 things that you can do for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and put them in a calendar. Just that way you have everything written down. I mean, that's really efficient. And you keep yourself accountable. You're saving money that way. And also too, going through your pantry and make sure that your pantry items, you have them every time. Because when you do, let's just say you do like avocado toast, or you do something with beans. I mean, you have everything on hand. So having everything on hand is the key.
So Karen, today, well, it's during the week. So maybe this weekend, Saturday, let's say for moms and dads that are at home in their kitchen, would you suggest the potential of them going into the refrigerator and grabbing stuff that they shouldn't have and toss it in the garbage? Take the things that really aren't good for them and get rid of them. And then go shopping on Saturday and go get the stuff that you need to make positive changes in your nutritional life.
Kevin, that's not realistic. That's not going to happen. So,
well, that's why I'm not you.
When you've worked with, as you know, when you work with clients, when you work with patients, even coaches, when you're working with your kids, it's just not realistic. So I don't sugarcoat anything. I just tell people how it is. And I tell them, you know what, live the 80-20 rule, live the 90-10 rule, do well. And then, you have on the weekends, you either do a meal or you have, you got to live, right? So my tagline is, it's not about dieting, it's about living. And the reason for that is because diets don't work, right? It's not only for you, for me, they don't work for anyone. Learning how to live your life and a lifestyle, a healthy lifestyle, is really, the way to live. I mean, longevity.
I love that. I love that.
Can I ask, Karen, are you vegan or vegetarian or pescatarian?
No, I eat everything.
Okay, so you just do moderation.
Well, it depends on if I want a steak, I'm going to go eat a steak. If I want pasta, if I want veggies, I eat whatever I want.
Okay, but it's about moderation and about being wise. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so it's about portion control.
And how much do you exercise as well? But I mean, we're not talking about you specifically because you're obviously a certain body type and you look the way you look for a reason. But, obviously, what do you recommend as far as nutrition and exercise? How much exercise? 3 days a week, 4 days a week, 5 days a week?
Okay, well, we have a coach on the line. So I'm going to say that you put in.
He's going to say every day, but
I would say 2 days. I mean, and really 80% of it is your food intake, what you're eating every day.
Okay. All right, good.
Right.
And portion control too is just looking at your hands. So you have your carbohydrates, you have 2 fists for vegetables, your protein is your palm, your healthy fats are your thumb.
Well, I'll tell you, I've got mitts, but Mr. Leonard Marshall, he's got mitts. That is going to be a big plate.
Big plate.
Protein.
Mr. Marshall.
Protein is right. Protein is right.
When you made the transition from being a 2-time Super Bowl champion and one of the top 100 New York Giants of all time, right? When you made that transition, when you were a football player, you were 6'4", 300 pounds and running a 4.4, 4.5. Unbelievably. But I mean, talk about your transition from, when you were in full athlete mode to, post-athlete mode, having to lose some of that weight, having to do some of the things that you did, dietarily. And
that's funny you say that. So, I wasn't really a father when I was playing football. I was actually on my way out and became a father. So thank God for that, because I think if I was a father while I was playing, I'd have probably been 20, 30 pounds heavier than when I played. I played the game at 6'3", 6'3.5", 280 pounds. I had a crazy coach who happens to be a Hall of Fame football coach as a mentor, motivator, and a guy who I learned an awful lot from, and Bill Parcells. And the one thing I learned from him early on is I need to change my diet from a Cajun college football player and the big bad wolf at LSU to now adopt a lifestyle and a culture conducive to having a 10-year plus career in the National Football League. So like that, I adopted some of the things that Karen's talking about early on. I hired a dietitian. I hired a personal trainer in the off season. That person worked with me in season. A woman by the name of Dr. Merle Best from Union, New Jersey. And Dr. Best and I maintained a relationship for about 15 years as I was transitioning out of football. In '95, I became a dad. My ex-wife at the time was having our daughter, and had a thirst or a quench for pancakes at 2:00 in the morning during a pregnancy. So I gained 50 pounds along with her as I'm leaving football, which was a kiss of death.
you weren't supposed to be eating all the pancakes, Leonard.
Oh yeah. So 6 months into it, who can have pancakes without bacon? Jelly, so
I love pancakes, by the way.
oh yeah. So I'm eating pancakes 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, consistently for, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 months. I picked up about 60 pounds. Next thing you know, I'm going to the doctor. The guy's saying, Leonard, you're borderline diabetic. You better do something about this and do something about it immediately. So I started trending downward, and I started to come to understand my body a little bit. Now, mind you, the dietitian's gone because the football career is gone. So I'm not kind of on my own trying to navigate my way around and figure out how to do this. Now that I'm removed from the game more than 20, almost 30 years. I recently dropped 103 pounds. It took me about 12 and a half months to do it, but I did it with a lot of supplement dieting. When I say supplement dieting, I incorporated a heavy protein diet. I watch my blood sugar closely. I eliminated type 2 diabetes, believe it or not. I got my A1C down between 4.7 and 5.3 effectively. I took my creatinine, my BUN, and my entire, biological makeup, blood work, everything else, which Karen been talking about.
Right. She says that doesn't lie. Right. Exactly.
And I totally changed that. And so with supplements and testosterone and some other stuff in there, I've been able to get my body fat down to less than 13%.
Wow.
At 272 lean pounds, I feel much better today than I felt in 1995. I was as big as 352 pounds, and I was as small as 258 pounds. So I'm actually happy where I'm at. I'll tell people that if you don't believe in what Karen's talking about, just continue to do what you're doing, and you'll watch how fast you'll diminish, and put yourself into renal failure, and there's no telling what happens after that. So it's just crazy that we're watching America on these GLP drugs, Karen, and how it's transforming Americans, and many of us just don't want to go back to traditional ideas, which is watching what you eat, put down that processed food,
Yeah.
get completely away from salt and sugar, and focus on your health more, because without health you have nothing.
Health is wealth.
You have nothing.
Leonard, we're going to come back to you in a second, because one of the things I want to talk about is, once again, this is about goal setting and achievement. So we're going to talk about two things, because look, as a Super Bowl champion, as a world-class athlete, we're going to talk a little bit about how you goal set. And certainly for anyone that has a job, your boss is creating goals for you. And
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's Zig Ziglar or whoever said, if you cease to establish goals for yourself, someone will gladly set them for you. So we're going to talk a little bit about goal setting or whatever. We'll come back to nutrition and how we move forward in 2025 to be healthy. But Coach Jim, so one of the things that we haven't talked about is, and so people may not know this, they probably know your name for a variety of reasons, but you're, if not the first coach in America, one of the first coaches in America that empowered, enabled a special needs person, kid with challenges to get into a basketball game. And that kid went into the basketball game and was phenomenal and scored like a ridiculous amount of points. He was on ESPN. I think you and he won an SB, like, so cool. And you've gone on to write about leadership, to talk about leadership, to coach kids. As a coach, right? So Leonard, right?
Yeah.
Coaches set goals for the team, for each individual. Coach, talk a little bit about your experience, a little bit about your background, and then some of the things you talk about when we talk about leadership and goal setting.
Sure. So, well, just to share the story very quickly in context, I had a young man that served as my team manager for 3 years. He's on the autism spectrum, and we got very close. But the thing I admired about him is he tried out for our team 3 consecutive years and never made it. His name was Jason McElwain. The world knows him as J-Mac. But because he was so committed to our program, which is important in goal setting, you have to make commitments, is that I decided that I was going to give him a gift for his senior year, because he served as our senior manager for 3 years. And that was, his dream was to play in a varsity basketball game. So I put him in with about 4 minutes to go. He went off script on his first shot. He shot an air ball. And then he also missed his second shot, but then he made a 3-pointer, and I was like, God is good. This is incredible. But it didn't stop there. He kept making shots, and when the smoke cleared, in fact, he made about a 23-footer at the buzzer. The whole crowd ran on the floor, and when the smoke had cleared, he had scored 20 points in less than 3 minutes, including 6 3-pointers, and it ended up being a global inspiration story that helped me. I still coached for 10 more years. In fact, Jason came back and helped me for 9 years, and we spent a lot of time with goal setting. So share a few ideas. Is that the first thing is in helping our players, we talked about being the person you want to be. So we taught them to do goal cards. And the first card we asked them to do is to say the words in front of a mirror, I am responsible, that I need to take charge of my life. And then the second thing is I asked them to say, I like myself. So we want to encourage them to build their own self-esteem. And then we taught them about goal setting, writing specific goals. Our famous line is, when you think it, ink it. We want to write it down. And then we encouraged our guys to write not only basketball goals, but family goals, health goals, academic goals, all the things that were pertinent to their life as high school student athletes. And then we encouraged them in the morning to read in front of a mirror. In fact, I have gold cards that I still use every single day. And I get in front of a mirror. I've added a few things, like I give myself a little inspiration. So I always give myself a high five and say, I'm going to have an awesome day. And I encourage people to do that, get off to a good start. And then we write out the goals. And we always start our goals with I am, and that I'm going to take charge and do that. And then from a leadership perspective, we also set team goals. We always brought our team over to my house. I live right behind the school, and we would do team goals together. And again, think it, Aiken, we would write them down. We would give everybody a copy. Everybody contributed by sharing what we thought the team was going to go for. And then a huge leadership lesson that I want to share with people that I learned is each individual has their goals, right? But we're playing a team sport. So as the leader, how do you connect helping people with their individual goals in accomplishing the team goals? And so what I encourage leaders to do is have one-on-one meetings with your team members and ask them and share with them, or they should share with you, what are their individual goals? And then how are we going to synchronize them so that we accomplish our team goals? And I think that's a hugely important point, is that you do that day in and day out. And the last thing I'll say for now is, mental piece is something we spent a lot of time with our players on. We did a mental imagery session before every single game, and we encourage people. And I'll tell you a quick story. Fortunately, the last year I coached was in 2016. I had a pretty good player that ended up playing a couple years in the NBA. But his senior year, we're losing in our semifinal in our postseason tournament. And he gets fouled with 5 seconds to go, down 3. He was shooting a 3, and he has 3 shots. And he makes all 3, and we win the game in overtime. And I'll never forget, after the game, one of the newspaper writers said, well, Anthony, what were you thinking? He said, we had done so many mental imagery sessions. I knew all 3 of those were going in. So that's just a great point of how the power of the mental preparation as well as the physical that we did on a daily basis.
What a great testament. Willie, we're going to come back to you, Dr. Jolly, because I'm going to ask your input here. So, Jim, you talk about a couple of important things. So my first book, Who Are You? Become the Very Best You That You Can Be, I transition Maslow's hierarchy of needs from a single one-dimensional model into a multidimensional model, because we are not, we're multidimensional beings. So you have to think about your well-being, not just physically, nutritionally, spiritually, emotionally. Because we're multidimensional, we need to think about establishing goals for different components of our lives. And so, Willie, I know that you and the lovely Mrs. Jolly also do a program for folks for relationships.
Right.
And so, look, you've been doing this a long time, man, and you are the best of the best. When we talk about goal setting, we talk about getting people to buy in, to make the changes, the hard work, right? I differentiate between motivation and inspiration. You can
Sure.
feel inspired on New Year's Eve and say, hey, here's my goal, here's my New Year's resolution. The motivation piece starts this morning, tomorrow morning, when you get your ass up and say, well, now I got to do it.
Right.
What's your guidance on that? That you got to kick it in. How do you kick it in?
Well, faith without works is dead. Okay. And you have to act on your goals, your dreams. There must be an action imperative. You have to make the decision that I'm going to think it. I love what you say, coach, ink it, and then act on it. Or it doesn't happen. Two little birds sitting on a telephone wire. One of them decides to fly away. How many little birds you got left? Two. Because until you act on your decisions, nothing happens. So you must take action. And so you must have a action imperative. But what you also said, Kevin, was profound about the fact that you have to have different categories of goals. Because many years I just had a goal. Okay, I got a goal. I got a goal. But then I realized as I matured and learned more that I had to have different goals in different categories. I got a health goal, I got a family goal, I got a business goal, I got a financial goal, I got a personal development goal, and I actually put my goals into 4 categories. First goal and my most profound goal or my highest goal is my giving goal. What can I give? Because as you give, so shall it be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, overflowing. The more you give, the more you get. It's a principle of the universe that you will get more when you start to give more. If you stand in front of a fireplace and say, "Give me heat," you get nothing until you put some wood in there. So the more wood you give to that fireplace, the more heat the fireplace will give to you. And so my first one is always giving, because I've learned from my mentors, the different millionaires and billionaires I've interviewed on my XM show. They always talk about, being successful, but are they giving? Are they serving? So the first give go. In order to give, I got to get, because you can't give if you ain't got. Okay, so I got to get more. In order to give, I got to get. And in order to get, I got to do. What must I do this year? What books must I write? What radio shows must I produce? What television shows must I produce? What speeches must I book? What must I do so I can get, so I can give? And then the last one is, what must I become? Because we're only able to do what we are. And if you are a person of not much value, you don't give more value. In my book, An Attitude of Excellence, I say great people give great service. Good people tend to give good service. Mediocre people only have the capacity to give mediocre service, and negative people will kill your organization. So you've got to become more. You got to be better. So what must I be and become? What must I do so that I can get, so I can give? And those are my goals that I set out every year. And then I set a goal for my family, and I write them. I mean, we're writing my goals, we're writing them down, and we're making sure that we see them and we are focused on them. And if you can, take pictures. Get pictures of what you want. I'll give you one quick story. I was on the Get Motivated tour, and I replaced Zig Ziglar when he died on the Get Motivated tour. So it was Les Brown, Zig Ziglar, Brian Tracy, lots of the greats. I was honored to be one of them.
Biggest names ever, yeah.
I was just honored to be in the camp. And we were doing a tour stop in Atlanta, and we had a day off. So some of my friends in Atlanta said, we're going to take you out to dinner. They took me to one of those fancy malls in Atlanta. And in the middle of the mall was this fancy, beautiful sports car. Oh my God, it was so gorgeous and glamorous. It was a high-end sports car. And I said, wow, that's a beautiful car. I sure would like that car. And so I stood next to it. I took a picture with me touching the car. I put that picture, printed it up on my wall. I put it in my wall in my office. I put it in my bedroom. And every day I'd see that picture of me touching that car. And so it was an image. Go back to mental imagery, Coach. It was an image in my brain that I saw. Well, that car is in my parking lot in my office right now, behind my office. That car is there. Now I got a picture on my wall with me touching a jet. Come on, somebody. A jet, baby, a jet. But you know what? It's the imagery. So set the goals, write the vision, Make it plain that he that reads it may run the race. Set your goals and get them in order. But and last thing I want to concur with Ms. Mayo is how important health is. Health, if health is not in your top 2 goals, number 3 don't make a difference.
Don't make a difference.
Don't make a difference. So right on, Leonard. You were right on about that. You
Awesome.
gotta make health a priority.
Awesome,
It
man.
don't
And
make a
yes,
difference.
visualization is key. And so one of the things that I recommend is people create vision boards. You can go and create, as you did, Willie, you can create a picture of your own with a goal that you have, or you can just go online and copy a picture and put it into a vision board. Let's just say it's an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper with your physical goals, your health goals, your personal goals, your relationship goals, your spiritual goals. So you have 6 or 7 or 8 images on that 8.5 by 11, and you put it up on the inside of your medicine cabinet. You're the only one that sees it every day. Every day you open up that medicine cabinet and you see your goals. You visualize what you want. And then obviously I'll do the pitch for the Simple Goals app. Go to the Simple Goals app on the App Store and download it. And then create your goals and put those on that as well. So that every day you see it, you ink it, coach, and you follow to the best of your ability every day, right? And Leonard, I'm going to come back to you in a second because I said something to the best of your ability. And I know that Coach was not us telling you guys do the best of your ability. You either use it or lose it. You get a kick in the butt. But let me ask Karen a question, and then I'm going to come back to you. Karen, so look, we're coming into the last 15 minutes. Here's what I want to do. Please tell people what your goals, what your plans are for 2025. Tell people how they can reach you, right? Because I know you're doing a bunch of coaching. You're working at a couple of corporations as a nutritional coach for the companies, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that. I know you have, it isn't a movie, you have another book coming out, and then you have a video set coming out. So tell people real quickly, then Leonard, I'm coming to you, Jim, I'm coming to you, and Dr. Jolly, I'm coming to you.
Sure. I just want to follow up too on In Mindful Eating, which is my first book. You can buy it on Amazon. You can go to my website, KarenMayo.com. In here, there is there's a 30-day journal. So you're inking it, coach. And then you're also, it's like day 1, and you're writing your positive goal that you want to accomplish for yourself personally for the next 3 months. And then you also have a professional goal. So that's all in my book, Mindful Eating. And there is also 5 weeks of recipes. And again, this also reminds you to eat. So what you ate for breakfast, and then it gives you a checklist of your supplements. It gives you also what you ate for lunch, and reminds you, a friendly reminder to drink more water, because if people actually just drank a little bit more water, they would not only think better, they would feel better, and they would lose weight.
Interesting. So water is a big key. So for anyone that doesn't drink a lot of water, a huge goal for 2025, increase your water intake.
Yes, absolutely. Half your body weight in ounces.
That's a lot of water for me.
Not over 100. Not over 100.
100 gallons, 100 pounds of water. What the hell? What am I doing? How do I do that? All right, great, Karen. And so you have another book coming out, and you have a video series coming out. When's that happening, and how can people get it?
Yeah, so the video series, you're going to be able to find it on YouTube. I did have it. It's Mindful Eating with Mayo is my TED Talk. I also have the book on hormone health coming out based on mindful eating. And I'm working on a brain. I work a lot with people from ADHD to schizophrenia. So I have a lot of information, and I'm writing a book about that as well.
You're awesome. God bless you, Karen. Thank you so much. Thank
So
you.
much. Oh my God, you guys, I'm so honored to meet all of you, Dr. Jolly, Leonard, and Coach. Thank you so much. And of course, Kevin, you know how much I love you.
Thanks. All right, well, hold on. So Leonard, look, so I said something about goal setting, and we've been talking about nutrition and well-being. And dude, you're a 2-time Super Bowl champion, one of the greatest football players in NFL history, soon to be in the NFL Hall of Fame. I'm looking forward to working with you this year on a bunch of stuff. But man, talk about, look, you were part of the less than 1/10 of 1% of the entire planet as a world-class athlete. That's a different atmosphere. That's your performance, the way you performed. I don't think anyone said, well, Leonard, you did the best you could today. I don't think that's, how do you hold up those expectations? Like, no, dude, there's no excuses. You gotta get shit done. You gotta be committed to getting stuff done. How do you transition that in your new life?
I'll take a tear sheet from Ziegler. What you vividly imagine, ardently desire, and enthusiastically act upon, and your daily regimen will inevitably come to pass if you truly believe in it. And you have to vividly imagine it all the time. I would vividly imagine myself stacking a quarterback in the National Football League in the Super Bowl. So when it happened, it had already, in my mind, it had, just like Dr. Jolly talked about, it had already happened for me. Right. You know, and it just so happened that on the biggest stage in the biggest game of my life, for a kid from the bayou of Franklin, Louisiana, 365 people strong, okay, 2 red lights in their entire town, a high school graduating class of 447 people. I get a chance to play on the world's biggest stage in front of 21 million people. And I actually sacked John Elway 3 times in a game.
Unbelievable.
3 times in a game. And I'm playing opposite 2 of the greatest football players, linebackers in the history of pro football, and Lawrence Taylor and Harry Carson. You know, one from North Carolina, University of North Carolina, and another one from historical Black college, South Carolina State University. So today, every time I look back upon that, I thank God for everything he's inspired and given me. Everything he's given me. The health, the wealth, the ability to play a kid's game for a king's ransom for as long as I wanted to, and then continue to touch lives and impact people with my successes, the richness that God has given me to do that. Man, I'm truly blessed. I'm even so blessed to be on this panel with this group of great people that you've assembled. So thank you very much for having me today.
Leonard, give that quote one more time. What you vividly imagine, because I think that was profound.
Vividly imagine and ardently desire shall then and act upon enthusiastically will inevitably come to pass.
Great.
They will love it. Hey, Leonard, so let's talk a little bit about, I mean, you got some great plans this year. And as an athlete, I'll never forget when I went to my college newspaper to go write. And I was a political science student and a journalism and communication student. And they said, oh, that's great, a soccer player. We need someone to cover sports. I was like, no. I'm here to write about, the First Amendment, and I'm here to write about political events. And I'm not just an athlete. I want to do this other stuff. You are, I mean, a profoundly talented man. You have your Series 7, Series 63. You manage money. You give to charity. You are the national ambassador for Police Athletic League. You have a bunch of stuff that you're doing, working against gun violence in America. And then you're also working on some health issues and I guess a profound invention. What are some of those things that people will know about this year? What are some of the things that you're going to be doing here in the near future?
Well, it's funny, one of the companies I'm involved with, Starting Therapeutics, which Starting Therapeutics has an aggressive process that is undertaken to bring to market probably this spring. I'm going to tell you, we're in phase 2 right now with a study that's cancer related. I don't want to let the cat out the bag, but I'll tell you, right behind Starting is Pike Therapeutics, which has a transdermal patch and a drug and an application, a cocktail that's been created by the use of an approved substance called dronabinol that's been FDA approved for over 100 years. We want to take this process, bring it to market to help curb tremors in Parkinson's, shakes and sleep deprivation in Parkinson's, and then treat those that have ALS or borderline that are dealing with ALS to help make their exit a lot more calmer and a lot much easier for families and those that are living with these illnesses. So 2025 is going to be a big year for Leonard Marshall. It's going to be a big year for most of us on this call. I see that the group you've assembled is just amazing. and I'm so honored to be with you guys. I didn't know who Willie Jolly was. Now I know who Willie Jolly is, and I'm going to continue to follow you, Willie. I'm going to win with you, and I'm going to encourage all of those that are in my orbit to win with Willie as well. Terrence, you keep doing what you're doing. I think you're going to make a significant impact upon people with all these GLP drugs out, you know, and Willie and I will tell you this. You know, Willie, I'm from the South too.
Yep.
Louisiana boy, but, you know, if it could fly, fart, swim, or mate, we fried it.
Right.
So I grew up eating like that and
Right.
changed my diet when I became a pro football player. And now that I'm a walking citizen amongst the many, I had to change my diet again. But I can tell you that, you know, diabetes, hypertension, all those things from Louisiana to Texas and all the way across back to Florida is a problem for our community.
Yes, that's right.
Our community.
That's right.
So I'm hoping that people that watch this, they take heed to what we're talking about, and they don't just take it and push it aside.
Amen.
That, in order to really, really do this and do it in a big way, you can't do nothing without your help.
That's right.
Nobody in your life without your help.
That's right.
Thank you, Leonard. Hey, love you, man. Thank you. Awesome, awesome.
Coach Johnson, keep doing what you're doing, and
Thanks, Leonard.
you know, keep making an impact on young people, man. And the ALS community should be grateful to have somebody like you.
Amen.
So Jimmy, let's so we have a couple more minutes. You and I, let's have a quick chat, and then we're going to have everyone else sign off. Jim, so what are you doing this year? I know you have another book coming out. You just finished one about leadership.
Right.
You know, how can people reach you?
Yeah, sure. So my website is coachjimjohnson.com. That way I wouldn't forget it. And in that, I do have a free monthly newsletter. People can sign up. I do a free weekly blog as well. And I really want to encourage people that something that I started doing, and I encourage my student athletes when I was working with them, is really to do an analysis of your habits. And I ask my players all the time, and now when I do my presentations, is that are your habits helping or hindering you? And I think really, and one of the things, you know, being a coach for a long time, we had a scoreboard, but I want to encourage people to have a daily scoreboard about themselves. And I know it's been brought up, but health is where it all starts. So I have 6 categories that I evaluate about myself every day. At the end of the day, I write it in my journal. And the first category is health. And I want to say, how did I do from 1 to 10, 10 being the best on my health today? And I think having that daily scoreboard and the things that are most important in your life and health, and my second one is relationships. So if I'm not doing well with my health and I'm not doing well with my relationships, everything else goes to pot. So I think I really want to encourage people as you start 2025 is to really analyze your habits, and are you analyzing your daily scoreboard to help you, because if you're healthy, then you can help and serve out others, which is Willie said so well.
Awesome, Jim, so much. Hey, guys, so each one of you know I love you. I'm so appreciative of my friendship and my relationship with each of you. National Motivation and Inspiration Day, for those that are watching, look, you can start any day. Every day is an opportunity to start new. Every morning when you get up and you open your eyes and you thank God for your existence, you then get the opportunity to say, what do I want to achieve today? These are extraordinary human beings. And it's one of the reasons why I've invited them to be a part of National Motivation and Inspiration Day. But you know what? The people you surround yourself with are important. And it isn't that you leave people behind. It isn't that you say that someone's not good enough to be with you. Are you good enough? Are you being your very best? Are you trying to achieve your best every day? And I know that's hard. And as each one of them said, it's about habits. What are your habits? And I think there's a great saying, Willie, jump in, because I know you know this stuff so well. I don't know if it was Zig again, but it was someone like said, you know, show me your habits and I'll show you who you are. If you show me your friends, I'll show you who you are. Surround yourself like these amazing people. Surround yourself with people that are moving forward to achieve, that are trying their best to be their very best. And so for many of you, you've known me now for 20 something years doing National Motivation and Inspiration Day. This is our 24th year. Next year, we'll have our 25th anniversary, which I'm hoping to do something really special with the American Motivation Awards, as well as with National Motivation and Inspiration Day. But every single day is an opportunity for us to try and achieve and be our best, whether you use a scoreboard, whether you use a visualization board and look at it and try and remind yourself, whether you use the Simple Goals app and write down your goals and try and follow them every day. I think the advice that everyone's given has been pretty consistent. It's about daily habits that create great results. Great human beings have not happened by not doing great things.
Right.
Being happy does not come about by being unhappy and doing not good things. It's about living a life, a God-given life, a spiritual life, a calling that enables you to be your best self. I mean, I think each one of them, except Karen and I maybe, have quoted spiritual stuff from either the Bible or somewhere else. It is a part of your life. And as for many of you know, creating a globally award-winning documentary called The Light of Man, I truly believe that God is the initial creation of every single one of us, is the very light and energy that emanates from us. That is God. And we are all divine and incredible human beings. It's just our job to try and live up to it.
Amen.
Amen.
And so everyone, once again, Willie, Karen, Leonard, Jim, thank you so very much. Just give people the place where they can reach you. What's the best place to see you online? Willie, go first.
Well, I'll just follow up with that. Show a habit and show me your habits, and I'll show you your destiny. Everybody go to winwithwillie.com, winwithwillie.com. Listen to me every week on Sirius XM Radio and also on daily on Get Up Mornings with Erica Campbell on the Praise Network. And then follow me on all my social media and get ready for this book. Rich is good. Wealthy is better. Coming your way.
I love it.
Love it. Thank you, Willie. Karen.
So I can be found KarenMayo.com. Also Mindful Eating with Mayo, and then also on Instagram, which is Mindful Mayo.
Love it. Love it, Karen. Thank you so very much for being with me. Mr. Marshall.
Yes, sir.
How can people get in touch with you? I know that you still are actively speaking and doing stuff. What's the best way for people to contact you?
www.leonardmarshall.com. Can also reach me at on Instagram. Leonard Marshall 70.
Your
Leonard
uniform,
Marshall 70.
your uniform number. Absolutely. Leonard, thank you so much, man. I'm looking forward to working with you this year.
Coach.
Coach.
Yes, CoachJimJohnson.com, and I'm on most of the socials. And I don't have the motivational minute like Willie, but I do a success thought and what I call a daily dose of leadership. So if you follow me on Facebook, LinkedIn, X, or Instagram, I post every day to try to help inspire people.
Wonderful.
And you got a fantastic podcast.
That's great.
Oh, yes. I want to say that the Limitless Leadership Lounge, we help young and emerging leaders because I got fired from my first coaching job at 25. So I wanted to give back to young leaders. And we had the blessing of having Dr. Willie Jolly as a guest.
That's great.
That's awesome. Hey, guys, God bless. Happy New Year.
Happy
Thank
New
you
Year,
so much for
everyone.
joining me.
Happy New Year.
Happy
Right
New Year.
1 hour.
Great,
Perfect.
guys. Thank
God
you.
bless.
God
All
bless,
right.
guys.
God bless, guys.
Have a nice day. Take care.
Bye-bye.